No middle ground.
No, I don't see playing politics with the truth, Lily.
I don't know who's in there, and I don't know what you're up to, but we got the new warden from the prison out here, and we're probably coming in. Right?
If you think Brubaker is just another old-school prison movie, think again. This 1980 drama isn't just about bars and inmates, it's based on real corruption, real abuse, and a real reformer who risked everything to expose the truth. Starring Robert Redford at his most intense and featuring early appearances from legends like Morgan Freeman, Brubaker is raw, powerful, and way more shocking than most people realize. Let's uncover 20 hidden facts you probably never knew. Fact number 1. Real-life roots, not just a fictional jail story. One of the biggest hidden facts about Brubaker is that the movie isn't just a gritty prison story made up in a writer's head, it's actually based on real events. The movie is inspired by the experiences of real prison reformer Thomas O. Murton, who helped expose horrible conditions inside Arkansas prison farms in the late 1960s. His true-life experiences were detailed in a 1969 book that became the basis for the film's screenplay. Fact number 2. Real advisor on set. Thomas Murton helped make it authentic. Even though the film fictionalizes some parts, the real Thomas Murton served as a technical advisor during production, which means the filmmakers tried to get the look, feel, and dialogue about prison corruption right. That's a big deal because not many films let the real guy behind the story have input on set. Fact number 3. Morgan Freeman's first big role before he was a star. You might be shocked to know that Brubaker includes one of Morgan Freeman's earliest credited film roles. He plays a prisoner in solitary confinement with a really intense scene, long before his huge breakout later in the 80s and 90s. Fact number 4. Nicolas Cage shows up as an extra. Here's a fun bit of movie trivia. Future megastar Nicolas Cage appears in Brubaker as an extra. It's a tiny background moment, but it's wild thinking about how many big actors had humble starts like this. Fact number 5. Cast thousands of extras and real ex-convicts, too. When Brubaker was casting extras for the big prison crowds, over 6,500 people auditioned. The production actually reached out to halfway houses, parole officers, and job centers to bring in newly released ex-convicts for roles, not just actors wearing prison outfits. That level of realism was intentional. Fact number 6. They used real old prison buildings for filming. Instead of building a fake jail on a Hollywood set, the production filmed the prison sequences at Junction City Prison Farm near Columbus, Ohio, a real penitentiary that had been operational since the early 1900s. The old walls and worn-down barracks added authentic texture you can feel on screen. Fact number 7. The prison itself had history of riot and rebellion. Here's a crazy fact. The old Junction City prison used for filming had its own history of riots and trouble while it was active. So the place already had an atmosphere that just felt right for a story about corruption and abuse. Fact number 8. The opening twist was made up for drama. In the movie, Brubaker first enters the prison pretending to be a prisoner to see corruption from the inside. That's a dramatic opening. But in real life, that didn't happen exactly like it's shown in the film. It was added to make the movie pack a bigger emotional punch.
And all because one old damn daft fool starts...
Fact number 9. The prison abuse scandal was a big legal deal. The real prison abuses that inspired the movie didn't just shock people, they led to a major court ruling in Holt versus Sarver, where Arkansas prison conditions were found to violate inmates' constitutional rights. That shows the real stakes behind the story. Fact number 10. Brubaker was Oscar-nominated, but not for acting. The film didn't get love for acting awards, but its screenplay was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the 1981 Academy Awards. That's pretty impressive considering how tough the subject matter was. Fact number 11. Robert Redford got his hands dirty in training. Redford wasn't just glossing over the prison scenes, he put in real effort to understand how someone in that position would move, talk, and behave. That's one reason why Brubaker feels authentic, even if some dramatic elements were added for Hollywood effect. Fact number 12. The actors wore modern clothing by mistake. Although Brubaker takes place in 1969, some of the wardrobe like Redford's plaid shirts and corduroy pants were actually more late 1970s practical gear than strictly historically accurate clothes. That's because the costume department balanced realism with what looked good and worked on camera. Fact number 13. They used real prison workers for some roles. Besides ex-convicts, the production brought in retired prison guards from different jails as background actors. This added another layer of real-world texture you don't always get in Hollywood movies.
Go bring him back for you, Mr. Deitch?
No. Nobody touches him.
Fact number 14. The movie made good money and surprised people. Brubaker wasn't expected to be a blockbuster, but it made over $37 million at the box office, which was a solid return on its modest budget. That means people cared about this tough story, even if it wasn't your typical action flick. Fact number 15. Critics were split, but audiences still remember it. Critics didn't all love Brubaker. Some thought it was heavy-handed or too predictable, but many audiences remember it as a raw and powerful prison drama. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a better score than some skeptics expected. Fact number 16. Yaphet Kotto gave a standout performance. Yaphet Kotto's role as a respected inmate and Brubaker's ally is one of the movie's emotional anchors, and many fans think Kotto deserved award recognition even though he didn't get it. His presence brings humanity and weight to a tough story. Fact number 17. Themes that still resonate today. The themes of corruption, systemic abuse, and one man versus the system are timeless. That's why Brubaker still feels relevant decades after it came out. People still talk about fairness, prison reform, and the way systems can fail the most vulnerable. Fact number 18. The ending was designed to hit you in the heart. The final scenes where the prisoners honor Brubaker are bittersweet. They celebrate him, yet they reveal how entrenched the system is. It's a powerful design choice that makes the movie hit you hard emotionally without a traditional happy ending.
V, we're ready to go. Thank you.
Fact number 19. It helped bring attention to prison reform issues. Movies can shape public conversation, and Brubaker brought prison reform issues into mainstream awareness at a time when few films talked about them. That kind of social impact is rare for a drama. Fact number 20. Brubaker comes from a tradition of social justice films. Director Stuart Rosenberg wasn't new to prison stories. Earlier, he directed Cool Hand Luke, 1967, another gritty prison set film. That legacy of addressing real modern issues with dramatic flair carried forward into Brubaker, giving it depth few other dramas have. So there you have 20 hidden facts about Brubaker, from its real-life inspiration to little movie set details that even hardcore fans might have missed. This isn't just a prison movie. It's a piece of cinematic history rooted in real-world injustice, performance risk, and authentic storytelling.
I agree with you!
No, you don't. Not really.
If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden facts about Brubaker, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into classic Hollywood history, so when you step back and look at all these hidden details, one thing becomes very clear. Brubaker isn't just another prison movie. It's a film that sits at the intersection of cinema and real history. What makes it powerful isn't just the performances or the gritty setting. It's the fact that so much of the story is rooted in real events that actually shook the American prison system. At the center of it all is the quiet but determined performance of Robert Redford, who plays a man willing to walk into one of the most brutal systems imaginable and challenge it from the inside. Redford doesn't play Brubaker like a typical Hollywood hero. There are no flashy speeches or exaggerated action scenes. Instead, the power of the character comes from persistence, small acts of defiance that slowly start to expose a broken system. And that's part of what makes the film feel so authentic. Director Stuart Rosenberg, who previously directed the legendary prison drama Cool Hand Luke, understood how to tell stories about institutions, power, and resistance. In many ways, Brubaker feels like the spiritual successor to that earlier film, but with a stronger connection to real-life events. Another fascinating layer of the movie is how many future legends appear in it. Long before he became one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, Morgan Freeman appears in a small but memorable role. At the time, almost no one watching the film could have predicted that this quiet supporting appearance would be an early step in the career of a future Academy Award winner. And then there's an even stranger piece of trivia. Future superstar Nicolas Cage briefly appears as an extra. It's one of those blinking you miss it moments that movie historians love discovering years later. When you go back and watch the film today, It's almost surreal seeing these early glimpses of actors who would later become icons. But beyond the trivia and the filmmaking, the most important thing about Brubaker is the conversation it started. The real prison scandals that inspired the story were not just shocking headlines. They actually led to major legal changes and court rulings that forced authorities to address inhumane prison conditions. And that's something rare in Hollywood. Most films entertain us for a few hours and then fade into memory. But every once in a while, a movie appears that reflects something deeper about society, something uncomfortable, something that people would rather ignore. Brubaker is one of those films. Even decades after its release in 1980, the themes still resonate today. Corruption, accountability, and the courage it takes for one person to challenge a powerful system. The story reminds us that real change is rarely easy. Sometimes the people who try to fix broken systems are pushed out before their work is finished. And that bittersweet reality is exactly why the ending of the film feels so powerful. The prisoners recognizing Brubaker isn't just a dramatic moment. It's a symbol of respect, dignity, and the idea that even small acts of integrity can leave a lasting impact. That's why Brubaker continues to be remembered as one of the most powerful prison dramas ever made.